Thank you for turning to page 121. Today we're going to go into the monster manual. We're going to take a look at the Remorhaz. And then we're going to take a look at a variant I recently used in a game. So we're starting with the Remorhaz. Look at this guy. He's a handsome dude. Remorhaz, number appearing 1. Armor class overall is 0. Head 2 and underside is 4. I don't really use multiple armor classes. I'll generally just give the creature the lowest armor class listed, unless there's a special reason, like on the Beholders. Sometimes I'll do it for the Eye Stalks. But it's just me. Hit dice 7 to 14, formidable. Number of attacks 1, 6 to 36 damage. Special attacks see below. Special defense see below. 75% magic resistance. It's neutral and it's large. Remorhaz, sometimes known as polar worms, inhabit only the chill wastes. They are very aggressive predators. If encountered in its lair, a Remorhaz is 25% likely to have a mate and 2 eggs there. 1 to 2 eggs there. The size of one of these creatures is determined by its hit dice. A 7 dice Remorhaz is 21 foot long, and 8 dice 24 foot long, etc. Remorhaz eggs are valued at 5,000 gold pieces each. That's pretty good just to get the eggs. In combat, the Remorhaz beats its small wings and rears the front quarter of its body. It then snaps itself forward, striking with blinding speed. And the largest sized specimens are able to swallow prey whole in this manner. Any victim swallowed in this manner is instantly killed due to the intense heat of the monster's digestive system. Prey is swallowed whole on a score of 20. When aroused, the Remorhaz secretes substances internally which cause its intestines to become very hot, and its back protrusions actually glow cherry red with the excess heat. Any non-magical weapon striking the back of a Remorhaz will melt from the heat, and any creature touched by these surfaces takes 10 to 100 points of damage. I actually had a dwarf that had the misfortune of falling onto the back of one of these in a melee. And he took the 10 to 100. It was something in like 62 or 63 points he took. That was the same dwarf that was stuck to the bridge mimic in a story I told another time. That dwarf took a lot of beating. Description: the Remorhaz has ice blue coloration everywhere except along its back, where a streak of white sets off the large protrusions there. The creature's multifaceted eyes are white. So there you go. Very formidable creature. 75% magic resistance, up to 14 hit dice. Armor class 0 the way I play it. Just really dangerous. 6 to 36 damage. This guy is going to put hurt on higher level parties. And you could have him medium level and have him down to 7, 8, or 9 dice. But if you're bringing him at 14, it better be a high level party. Now, I talked of a variant I did of the Remorhaz. I did a desert Remorhaz. I just ran this in a game. And I had some fun with it. My players were in the desert for reasons in the story, and they had come across a camel that was by itself. Its handlers had gone missing, and that was part of the story. The camel walked over to a shaded area and was standing in the shade. And this was high, about 10 in the morning, I want to say, so it was getting hot. So players went over to check the camel, and several of them noted how cool it was in the shade, so they stayed there. And I even kind of threw that out as a little note that they should be aware of. I said, oh, you note it's really cool in the shade. And oh, okay, great. Well, what they were encountering was a Remorhaz, a desert Remorhaz. I have the desert Remorhaz, whereas the polar one has the heat coming out its back. This one has ice and cold. And it lays below, near rock formations, below the surface. And it lets the cold radiate up. So as it's laying near the rock, any creature that comes near the rock, but specifically in the shade, will notice how cool it is. So it's very comforting and very relaxing for something to come and relax in this nice, cool area. And once the Remorhaz can no longer feel the vibrations, the prey moving around, but is still sure they're up there, it springs up from beneath and grabs them. And that's what I had happen. I did a fair amount of damage to the party. It was a lot of fun. They were not expecting a Remorhaz. I was very proud of having come up with the desert Remorhaz. And Craig, one of the players at the table, who had just recently DM'd some stuff for us, moaned and said, I was just coming up with a jungle Remorhaz. Craig and I had never discussed it, but it's funny that we both came up with variants on a Remorhaz at virtually the same time. So the Remorhaz, for my part, going to the regular Remorhaz as well as the desert Remorhaz, they both hunt by vibration. As the creatures move about, they can sense the vibrations through the ground, and then they go ahead and they leap up and attack. But I like the desert version where it's got the cool to lure its prey to where it wants the prey. And the other thing is, with it being nice and cool, the prey is going to relax. And that's what happened with the players. So I didn't give bonuses to armor class for dexterity or boots of striding the spring or any movement based. I just gave them just a raw armor class, no shields, no nothing. And I think that really came as a big surprise to the party. They were able to handle it. This party runs around 12th to 13th level. They were able to handle it, but not without some difficulty. So it was a lot of fun. I got a big laugh out of it. My players enjoyed the variant, and they did not see it coming. So we have the Desert Remorhaz now as part of our group, monsters that we can throw at each other. So that's it. It was just a little variant I did on one of my old favorite monsters. The Remorhaz has always been something fun. I had a player who was about 7th or 8th level fighter. I had only been playing D&D about a year and a half when the DM threw a Remorhaz at us. That was one heck of a thing. The way we beat it was in an area that was subject to avalanches. So we had, I forget exactly, I think someone threw a fireball at the cliff, and that the sudden shock of melting everything caused the avalanche, and it buried the Remorhaz. The DM never told us if it was killed or simply, inconvenienced, knocked out, harmed by the avalanche. But either way, we never had to deal with it again. So we counted it as a victory. So did he. But there you have it. That's Remorhaz, and a slight house edition of the Remorhaz. The Desert Remorhaz is completely my idea. Not saying that it has to be thrown in any games. It's not official. It's just at my table. But it's just an idea I wanted to throw out and see what folks thought. So there you have it. I want to thank you for your time. Thanks for watching. If you like what you heard, please like and subscribe. And if you have any friends who would be interested in the channel, please let them know. Also, please take a look at the Patreon. If there's anything you can do to help out there, it would be greatly appreciated. But that's all I've got for today on page 121. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.